Welcome to the deep dive. You know how some books just sort of stick with you long after you've turned the final page?
Definitely.
Well, today we're unpacking one of those, Khaled Hosseini's international bestseller, The Kite Runner.
Ah, yes. A powerful one.
It really is. And this isn't just about, what happens in the story. Our mission here is to explore the deeply layered narrative. We're looking at it through the lens of a really reflective, emotional, and frankly thought-provoking book review that captures its enduring power.
Yeah, it's a fascinating choice for a deep dive.
Mm.
Because while The Kite Runner, published back in 2003, is technically historical fiction, maybe drama,
Right.
our source review really points out that its true power, it goes way beyond simple plot points. It digs into this incredibly complex tapestry of human experiences, human emotions. That's what makes it resonate, I think.
Absolutely. And that focus on profound human experience is exactly what we'll be dissecting today. We're going to unpack the novel's really powerful emotional intensity, look at its key themes, and, well, its lasting impact. We want to help you understand why this book doesn't just stir the soul, it genuinely stays with you.
It really does.
So, okay, let's start with the core setup. Just enough detail to get us oriented, but, spoiler light.
Good plan.
Our source review immediately draws us into this formative childhood of Amir. He's a privileged boy in Kabul. And then there's his loyal friend, Hassan, who's the son of his family's servant.
And they share this bond.
Exactly. This intense, almost idyllic love for kite flying in the streets of their city. It seems so innocent at first.
It does. But it's within that seemingly innocent world that the review really emphasizes the novel's pivotal moment.
Ah, yes.
The tournament.
The winter kite tournament. There's this single devastating moment where Amir acts out of cowardice, and it irrevocably changes the course of his life. It sets everything in motion. And from that moment, the journey becomes, well, transatlantic eventually. We follow Amir moving from a war-torn Kabul to starting a new life as an immigrant in the United States.
A completely different world.
Totally. And then, years later, there's this poignant, almost desperate return to his homeland, a place that's both familiar and profoundly alien after everything that's happened.
And what's really crucial to grasp here, as our review points out so well, is that while this whole narrative unfolds against this huge backdrop of conflict and historical upheaval—
Yeah, the history is ever present.
it is, but the story is not primarily about war. Fundamentally, it's about redemption, specifically that arduous, often agonizing process of trying to make amends after years of silence, guilt, and, well, self-preservation. It really asks, can you ever truly earn atonement?
That focus on redemption brings us right to the heart of the novel's emotional core, doesn't it?
It does.
The review argues that The Kite Runner doesn't just feature guilt and redemption. It actively kind of dissects the anatomy of those emotions. Amir's internal struggle, just haunted by his inaction, by that deep betrayal. That's the engine driving so much of the story.
And this raises a really profound question, What does it actually take to heal from a wound like that? The story, as our source analyzes it, suggests healing isn't just one thing. It's a confrontation.
Confronting the past.
Exactly. It argues The Kite Runner forces us to consider that true healing often means reopening old wounds, no matter how agonizing that is. And that's explored with such raw honesty here.
Which leads us to that incredibly powerful dynamic of friendship and betrayal, especially through Hassan.
Oh, San, yeah.
He's depicted as so much more than just a friend. He's this character defined by, unwavering loyalty, incredible bravery, and almost pure heart, really.
Like moral strength, yeah. It creates this tragic, powerful contrast with Amir's weaknesses. It makes their bond, and then the fracturing of that bond, just incredibly impactful.
It really does.
The review also takes a really interesting angle on the complexities of father-son relationships. Specifically, Amir's deeply fraught bond with his father, Baba.
Right. Baba's quite a character.
He is. He's presented as this man of strong morals, seemingly unshakable conviction. Yet he's also deeply flawed himself.
Mm-hmm.
And this subtly illustrates how a child's desperate search for parental approval can profoundly shape their choices, and then shape their subsequent, often crushing experience of guilt.
So how does all of this tie into the novel's central, maybe most enduring symbol, the kites?
Ah, the kites. They're fascinating.
They have this remarkable dual representation through the story, don't they? Initially, they embody freedom, joy, that sort of carefree innocence of childhood soaring above everything.
Absolutely. Pure joy at first.
But later, our review highlights how they come to symbolize sacrifice and the heavy weight of responsibility. The act of kite running itself, it sort of evolves into this powerful
It
metaphor.
becomes synonymous with chasing after forgiveness, doesn't it?
Mm.
And that elusive hope of maybe reclaiming a lost past.
Exactly.
And beneath all these personal narratives, the novel and our source observes this keenly, subtly portrays the deep-rooted class and ethnic divide,
Yeah.
between the dominant Pashtuns and the historically marginalized Hazaras in Afghan society.
It's a crucial layer.
It is.
Yeah.
This underlying social tension isn't just background noise. It adds significant weight and a layer of profound complexity to Amir's betrayal. It makes it more than just a personal failing.
Right, it echoes these deeper societal injustices.
Precisely.
That structural nuance brings us nicely to Hosseini's distinctive writing style, his prose. It's both elegant and remarkably accessible, wouldn't you say? It just pulls you in.
Oh, completely. He paints these incredibly vivid, almost sensory images of old Kabul. You can almost smell it, see it, feel the emotions.
Yeah.
It immerses you in this world that feels both vibrant and tragically lost.
And what the review notes as truly unique is the narrative's profound rawness.
Yes, that honesty.
It's characterized by this unflinching honesty, simple yet powerful metaphors, and these moments of deep, quiet reflection. The review captures it perfectly, saying each chapter feels like a confession.
That's a great line. It really does feel like that.
Mhm.
It makes the reader feel intimately led into someone's private pain,
Mhm.
which is quite an achievement for a novel.
And this intensely personal narrative gains immense poignant weight from its historical backdrop. The story unfolds against these huge events.
Huge. The fall of the monarchy.
The Soviet invasion.
And then, of course, the rise of the Taliban in Afghanistan.
Yeah, it's all there.
And the review powerfully argues this isn't just a story set against historical upheaval. The personal trauma of Amir and Hassan is inextricably woven into the fabric of Afghanistan's own tumultuous journey.
Right.
It's a masterful way, really, to show how individual lives are just inseparable from the fate of a country.
The book's reception, as well as you know, was just monumental.
Oh, huge.
International bestseller, translated into over 40 languages. But beyond the sales, it played this massive role in introducing a whole generation of readers across the globe to Afghan culture.
And humanizing it.
Exactly. Humanizing a nation so often viewed just through the narrow lens of conflict and war.
Yeah. And while it was widely praised for that emotional honesty, that powerful storytelling, it's worth acknowledging, our source does this too, that there was some criticism. Some found it maybe too sentimental or perhaps overly dramatic at times.
Sure, those critiques exist.
They do.
Yeah.
But what seems undeniable, really, regardless of the varied critiques, is that the Kite Runner leaves this profound and lasting impression. It sparked so much conversation.
It really did. Reflecting on our source material again, it describes the book as something that hurts but in the way truth often does.
That's well put.
It forces us to question how silence, how inaction, can be just as damaging, maybe even more so, than direct malice.
It powerfully highlights that forgiveness, both getting it from others, but maybe most crucially, finding it for oneself is often the hardest thing to earn.
Yeah.
Ultimately, our source concludes with something that rings so true. You don't just read the Kite Runner. You carry it with you.
That feels absolutely right. We hope this deep dive encourages you, the listener, to consider the enduring power of stories like this, stories that explore human flaws, the complexities of cultural identity, and that incredibly long, often arduous road to forgiveness.
So as you reflect on the Kite Runner, maybe ask yourself, what does it truly mean to earn forgiveness? Not just from others, but from yourself. And how do we navigate those lasting echoes of our past actions? Just like that famous line from the novel suggests, for you, 1,000 times over.